Welcome back, everyone, to Champion Your Life. I'm Leighanne Champion, and I'm really excited to talk with you today about what I think of as a very intriguing topic that very few people actually take the time to consider. So here we go. I really want you to listen to this sentence carefully. Are you future focused? Or are you living in the past? Are you future focused or are you living in the past? Well, the real truth for all of us is that we can't go back in time. Even if we want to, right? The past is over. And for some people, that's a blessing. And for some of you, your past might be something you're really, really proud of. And that's amazing as well. But what most people don't really truly think through is that your future is also yours for the taking. You see, there's really no reason to argue too much with the past anymore or wish it was different. It's just a waste of our emotional energy. And what I want to explore today is what if you were to take all your energy and focus and apply it to your future, which is something you can affect. And that first means deciding that your past was perfect. It happened exactly as it was supposed to, and there were no mistakes, only preparation and life lessons that were learned. One of the main causes of current problems in our lives is our desire to hang on dearly to our past. It's comfortable. It's what we know. Our past is where all of our current thinking was learned and developed. You see, from the time that you were young all the way until now, you've adopted beliefs and thought patterns from your past. And we've all done this unconsciously. And even as an adult now, you may be very skilled at thinking those thoughts and beliefs without even realizing or questioning how they might be affecting you. All your dated thoughts and beliefs from your past. In fact, some of your past programming is not only creating your current thinking, feeling, and action patterns, but it's also controlling your focus or lack of focus on your future. And to me, this is fascinating and really, truly worth exploring. You know, I talk to so many people who are focused only on their past, and they will recall stories from their childhood, things they've experienced from their work environments, previous relationships, families of origin, and so on. But I'm always keenly aware when there's no mention of the future. And I've just come to the conclusion that many people just have a hard time dreaming and thinking about the future. And look, in many cases, reviewing and doing the work around our past is such an important thing. In fact, I highly recommend it, as it can just clear away so many limiting beliefs and release trauma from past events in our lives that could possibly still be holding you back. And God bless therapists and counselors who are trained to do just that. But when we are focused on our past and not even considering the road ahead, this past focus just keeps us stuck, right? Often in a thought loop around what has already been or occurred. And I want to take a moment and explain what I mean by unconscious programming from your past. So unconscious programming from your past is what you saw and what you heard and experienced as a young child growing up. All the experiences that you had that helped to shape your thoughts, your fears, and your triumphs. This is what we call unconscious programming. But it's interesting, when we are only thinking through our past focus lens, which is just another way of saying unconscious programming, we don't allow for fresh, new, deliberate thinking for our futures. And because of this, I've just seen so many people have a hard time thinking and dreaming about their future. Their past life programming dominates and distracts them from any opportunity for exciting change and growth. And often when you ask a past focused person what their plan is for their future, well, they don't really know. They don't have any idea where they want to go. They haven't stopped to consider it. They are unconsciously being defined by who they used to be without taking control of who they want to become. Now, I want to say that again because it's so powerful. They are unconsciously being defined by who they used to be without taking control of who they want to become. Let me just give you some verbal examples of some past focused beliefs. I've heard these many times, but perhaps you have heard yourself saying a few of them too, a time or two. Let's see. Well, I'm just that kind of person. That's just who I am. Or, oh, I've never been able to do that. Or, oh, that doesn't work for me. I've tried that. Or, this always happens to me. Or a little more defense is, look, this is what I've always known, okay? Or my favorite, actually, pretty stubborn, probably too late for me to change. It's just who I am. You see the bottom line here, though? Past focused thinking prevents us from trying anything new. Not to mention, it inhibits growth, imagination, creativity. It just stops any kind of dreaming in its tracks. So I want to tell you, a great tool to help us dream is a vision board. And you know what? I have one right behind me. Can you guys see it? There it is. My vision board, I call it my imagination board, my dreaming board of all the things that I want to do with my future. And creating a vision board is one of the most valuable visualization tools out there. And often we hear about this, we have good intentions to create one, but we never really get around to it. And it's a big mistake. And you're saying, all right, why? Tell me, Leighanne, prove this to me. Because a vision board is the most powerful tool that serves as this image of your future. It's a tangible representation of where you are going. It represents your dreams, your goals, and it's a snapshot of your ideal life. You know, that idea that a picture is worth 1,000 words, it really holds true in the concept of creating a vision board. You know, I've actually been redoing mine since February, truthfully, because I ended up accomplishing all the things on it from last year. Well, not everything. One thing, nope, but I'll get to that in a minute. But seriously, I've been in this room, in that chair, I don't know, for a year and a half now, but looking at those goals every day on that board and consciously thinking about my future self. And it's crazy. Most of them happened. Well, okay, I didn't get my beach house yet, but hey, I will. This girl dreams big. But let me ask you, is there any reason for you to not dream big? The thing that's amazing is that our brains are extraordinary, and they will work tirelessly to achieve the statements and the affirmations that we tell ourselves. Truly. Did you know that? This is proven. And when those statements and pictures are the images of your goals, you are closer than you have ever been to achieving them. So look, can you tell I'm excited? I encourage you to create a vision board. And at the end of the podcast, I'm going to run through it with you and teach you all how to do it. But here's another interesting thought to consider. Even if we want to create something we've done in our past, we will need to think of it differently. We need to always remember it's a new creation and not a repetition. When we are present and future focused, we are just taking control of our thoughts by deciding how to think deliberately about our future. And listen, I've got to tell you, this is a beautiful and exciting way to live. I want to share with you that one of the best ways to focus your mind on the future is by setting goals and simply dreaming about you and what you want. And this is not about your mate. This is not about your parents. This is not about your children. I just want you to think about you. So interesting, but we forget to dream. And it's one of our greatest gifts, our imaginations. My son, Glenn, when he was little, would always say, "Mom, what do we have to look forward to?" So cute. But I actually think this was my doing, is I love to get my boys all pumped up about things we had coming up when they were little. But you know what I loved? I always loved his future focused enthusiasm. And it actually continues to this day. But why do I bring this up? This is really important. I read this statistic last week that people stop dreaming about what is next for them around the age of 45. I was like, what? What is that all about? I find that so upsetting at 45. My goodness, you might have raised a family, they're launching, but holy crow, what's next for you? Also, conversely, I've had really, really young clients who are unable to dream about what is next. They've been so perhaps structured at school throughout college, and then finally, they're set free to go out in the world, and they're kind of, they're stuck. They're like, well, now what? No one has really given them the freedom to intentionally dream up their future. And I believe so much of this has to do with how we think about our past. So are you using things that you have done or not done to define yourself? For example, if your story about your past is, well, I'm just not good enough, or, I haven't worked in years, or, I'm really not that smart, or, Leighanne, I should have applied myself more in school. If those are the stories around your past, then before you even try anything or start something new, you'll be feeling defeated, right? Discouraged, fearful. And those emotions will determine whether or not you will take action in the future. And I just need to say this, you gotta get this out. Beating yourself up over your past, some people think it's going to somehow push you into action. Really, truly, people believe this. If they just beat themselves up enough, then eventually they'll start taking action. And I just want to say, no. Whoa, stop. This never works. You cannot beat yourself up into success or happiness. Instead, why not? Try defining yourself by your future, where you want to go, what you are excited about doing. And again, now, not that what you have accomplished in your past isn't something to be really proud of. I get that. I really do. But the thoughts from our past, they're recycled, aren't they? And we aren't living in the past. We have only our future. So if you want to create something new, if you want to implement a new idea, find a new career path, you have to think and believe a thought that you've never thought before, one that's fresh, new, clean. So here's an exercise that I'd like you to do. Look, it doesn't take much time, but it's very beneficial. I want you to do a thought download. We've talked about them before. That's when you just take the pad of paper and you kind of do a brain dump. You just let it rip. I want you to set the timer for 20 minutes. I'm going to show you my little tomato timer. I use this thing when I do things like that. They're so fun. But here's the deal. You deserve to take the time to just think about you. And here's some great questions to ask yourself to get your juices flowing and your imagination activated. All right. So how would you describe your future self? Where does your future self live? What job is your future self doing? And how much does your future self earn? Lastly, what does a typical day for your future self look like? I really want you to spend some time with your future self, dreaming. Think in terms of creating a life that you've never created before for yourself. You know, another good reason to do this, it's so important for us all to evolve our brains beyond thinking about what we've already thought before. And this is so fun. This is all about your dreams. I mean, how great is that? Your aspirations, your new thoughts, your new ideas. Just imagine what you want that is different and new. Promise me you will try this. You're going to be surprised. You're going to actually be shocked at what comes up. The past is over. Do you remember that old saying, you can't go back? Well, you can't. It's really true. And for some of us, as we said before, that's a blessing. And for others who have had to move on for perhaps a loss of a loved one, it's very, very hard to move forward. I get that. And sometimes we just want to stay in the past because it's comfortable. It's familiar. It feels safe. But we all know this isn't what this life is all about. God has us in a classroom that takes us all on a wild ride of growth if we allow for it. So again, just try that simple exercise to dream again. And this is how you learn how to be your future self. You need to imagine you're already the person who has these things. Consider your future self in 5 or 10 years from now. Who have you become? What have you created? You have to believe in a future that is alive in your mind. So many of us don't want to believe in our dreams. And do you know why? We humans are so funny because we think we have to know the exact formula to get there, right? But look, we can't anticipate the exact journey. It just doesn't work that way. We wish it did, but it doesn't. We tend to forget that the journey of discovery, though, is often where we grow the most. 2 Timothy says, I love this verse, God did not give us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power and love and self-discipline. I really want you to believe that. Lean into that so you can create a future that is better than your past. I think this picture that's coming up is so extraordinary. And I love what it says. Be future focused. What lies ahead? Let's get excited. And why not? It's time to turn your head around and start focusing on the beautiful road ahead. All right, so how do we do this? You've done your thought download. Now it's just packed with great material. And now I really do want you to try and create a vision board for yourselves. Look, I know for me personally, unless I had had someone telling me to give this a shot, I would have most likely never created one. And some of you may have already started a vision board and perhaps you didn't complete it. Most likely it's just very outdated, stuck in the closet somewhere. I want you to dust that puppy off and put it up where you can see it every day. All right, number one, how to create. All you do, again, find the board and some pictures that represent the experiences, the feelings, the goals, the achievements that you want to attract into your life. Again, what is this board doing? It's helping you organize your thoughts around your future self. Number two, have fun with this process. It's really fun. Have fun in the process of gathering. You can use photographs, cutouts from magazines, online pics. You can look on Google Images, Pinterest, whatever inspires you. For example, on mine, I have a course that I'm taking currently, it's about writing a course with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziato over there. And then I have bigger goals that I want to achieve, like a TED Talk. I actually ordered a sticker in the mail and, oh no, so I actually said that out loud. So no, I have to do it. But number three, be creative. Include anything that truly speaks to you, especially around your purpose in this life. For example, I have included one of my favorite scriptures that keeps me on track. And my purpose is actually to help people feel a little less broken. What is yours? And one other thing, have a fun picture of yourself on your board. Choose one that's taken in a really happy moment. Another really important idea is to find favorite affirmations, inspirational quotes, words, anything that inspires you. Just remember, choose words that make you feel good, right? Such as love, determination, courage, joy, perseverance. You get the idea. And finally, you know what you need to do? Try to your best to keep it neat. It's a good idea to be mindful, to not create a cluttered or chaotic board, as we don't want to attract any more chaos into our lives. It really is beauty and simplicity and clarity. And I think too many images might be, or too many words might be a little distracting for you and hard for our minds to wrap around. So use only the best words and images that best represent your purpose and your ideal future. And again, as you're working on it, don't put it in the closet, leave it out somewhere central so you can see it on a daily basis. It needs to be a reminder, right, of this exciting future that you plan to create. I hope that you can see now why I believe a vision board is so helpful. And I really pray that you will begin to get excited and feel the momentum for your future self that is calling you. Look, your past set you up to be the person you are today. Love it for what it did. Thank it and move on. It's really time to get excited about your future. You've been listening to Champion Your Life with me, Leighanne Champion. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or reach out to me via my website, Leighanne Champion Coaching. I really can't think of anything that brings me more joy than helping someone to live into their future now. Godspeed. Thank you for listening to Champion Your Life with me, Leighanne Champion, on TransformationTalkRadio.com. To find out more about me and my coaching platform, visit ChampionYourLife.com. That's ChampionYourLife.com. You have one precious life. Let's live it to your fullest potential. Let's go. Let's do this together. See you next time.